summarising every single Premier League club's 2023 in just one word. So, of course, it is approaching the end of the year. 2023 is almost done, so I thought we should take a little look back at the calendar year of 2023 for each club and give you a bit of a summary of what I think their 2023 was like. So of course this is the year 2023, is not this season, it's not last season, it's the combination of both. So I'll give the word and then I'll give a little explanation as to why I have picked that. But let me know, get in the comments, I want to see what word would you say describes your 2023 for your club. Doesn't matter what your club is, if they're Premier League or another league, I would love to hear it. Put in a word in the comments below what your club 2023 was like, and let me know if you agree with the pick, the word I have gone for your club. But let's begin. Arsenal. Heartbreaking. 2023 was a heartbreaking year if you're an Arsenal fan. You started the year top of the league, and I mean you might even end the year top of the league, yet despite this you didn't win the league, which is devastating if you're an Arsenal fan. 2023 started off so well for them. In April they were 5 points clear at the top of the table with just 9 games left of the season, and Arsenal fans were believing this was it. Finally they would be champions of England again. But it all came crashing down in horrible fashion, and by the end of April they were in second place and wouldn't get back to the top spot that season. 2023 was a year that started with hope, that turned into belief, that turned into expectation, but then turned into anger and sadness. However, they haven't ended 2023 in a good way, so maybe 2024 could be different. And despite overall performances being good in 2023, it's been a heartbreaking one for Arsenal, who saw their title hopes snatched from them this year. Bournemouth. Upheaval. This year was a year of change and upheaval at Bournemouth, in a good and bad way, and it's a year which is going to be very important for the club in the next few years potentially. At the start of the year they were in 16th, just 1 point above the relegation zone. But this year marked the first year of the new ownership, as the new owners came in December last year, and this was their first full year in charge, which is the reason for much upheaval and change of the club. In January they spent a huge amount of money to help keep the club up, which they successfully did. They then made another massive change in the summer, getting rid of Gary O'Neill and appointing the young, exciting coach Antonio Iraola. Iraola had a slow start to life at the club, but things are improving. So this year has seen a transition for Bournemouth as a club who are now spending large amounts of a young, exciting squad, young, exciting manager, and have remained a Premier League side. Whether or not this will work and potentially see Bournemouth, become a Brighton type club, I guess we will find out, but there's certainly been a lot of upheaval in Bournemouth in 2023. Aston Villa, sensational. To be honest, I don't think any club in England has had a better 2023 than Aston Villa. At the start of the year they were in 11th place, having appointed Unai Emery in charge, and saw a decent set of results, but they would only go up from here. In 2023, only Man City and Arsenal have amassed more points than Villa in the Premier League, as they managed to qualify for Europe for the first time in 13 years. They've got out their group in the Conference League, had a great summer signing some good players, and this season are currently in a title race, having beaten Man City, Arsenal, Spurs Palace and Chelsea away from home as well. Villa are flying, and going into 2024 couldn't be feeling any better. If you want a more detailed explanation as to why Villa are doing so well, check out the video I made detailing all of the stuff you need to know about why they are doing so well. Burnley, questionable. It's been a bit of a weird one for Burnley 2023. Burnley started 2023 in the Championship and ended in the Prem, so I guess just based on that it's been great. However, it's been a weird one due to the in-between part. Burnley managed to break 100 points of the Championship this year, playing great football in the company, and everything was great for Burnley fans. They even won the title in the home of their biggest rivals. However, since then 2023 has raised a lot of questions. The summer window, they spent record amounts for the club on mainly young players, and as we all know, in the Prem things haven't gone well at all. I would say it's questionable, as 2023 has probably made Burnley fans ask a couple questions about their manager, their players and club. Was the recruitment good enough in the summer? Is Company the right guy? Is the squad prepared for the Prem? These are all questions Burnley fans will be asking heading into 2024. Brentford, solid. 2023 has been a pretty solid year for Brentford. They started the year 9th, got their highest Prem finish so far, have been alright this year really. They sit 9th in the 2023 annual table, so it's been a really solid year. I think the big thing this year for Brentford was Ivan Toney. They lost their striker to a ban, and many worried about how they would do without him. This year has shown that while they are obviously a worse side without him, they are still a perfectly fine team and a very solid one. So 2023 has been fairly uneventful, but a very solid year if you're a Brentford fan. Brighton, fun. 2023 has been a fun year for Brighton. They started the year in 6th place, flying with De Zerbi, and they rode that way for the rest of the season, finishing in a Europa League spot for the first ever time, playing some great football. They had a crazy summer, selling Caicedo for a record fee, buying a load of young exciting players, and while performances and results have dipped towards the end of 2023, they have had a great European run, qualifying for the knockouts, playing some great football, and have had some very insane results this year. In 2023, they've beaten Ajax in Amsterdam. They lost 6-1 to Aston Villa. They beat Man United 3-1 at Old Trafford. They beat Arsenal 3-0 at the Emirates. They lost 5-1 to Everton. And they've been involved in a crazy transfer saga. They reached an FA Cup semi-final. It's just been all over the place. And for Brighton fans, 2023 has probably been the most fun year of their lives. Chelsea, abysmal. I mean, I don't think it could get worse for Chelsea this year. Abysmal is one word to describe it, but you could choose any word you like out of depressing, shambolic, disgraceful, embarrassing. I could go on. At the start of 2023, Chelsea were in 10th with Graham Potter in charge. At the end of 2023, Chelsea will probably still be 10th, with Pochettino in charge. Great progress. This year saw Chelsea win less than 5 games at home, have 3 managers in charge, finishing 12th place, spend $1 billion, and still be a mid-table team, lose to the likes of Nottingham Forest at home, Brentford at home twice, Southampton at home. I could go on and on. 2023 for Chelsea has been the worst year in the club's recent history, and as a Chelsea fan, I really wish it never happened. Crystal Palace, reset. 2023 was a bit of a reset for Palace in terms of their project they were building. At the start of 23, Palace and Patrick Vieira in charge and were in 12th place. Vieira was meant to be the long-term manager for Palace and build a project with them, promoting young players, making them a good team to watch and building something for the long term. But everything went wrong. In 2023, in April, he was sacked for Roy Hodgson, which was a backward step, but sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards, and that's exactly what's happened. As Roy kept them comfortably up and has remained in charge this season, doing a okay job. This year was a reset for Palace, as that long-term project under Vieira is gone and Hodgson is back in charge. He's not the long-term manager for sure, but he's just reset the project at Palace, which I guess is going to begin in 2024 when they get a new manager. But as for 2023, that project is on pause. Everton, turbulence. This year was an extremely turbulent year for Everton. They started the year in a relegation zone with Frank Lampard in charge. He would go not too long into the year and was replaced by Sean Dyche, who would just about on the final day keep them up, despite it looking like Everton would be gone at one point. The summer wasn't great in terms of recruitment, but results have improved was the back end of 2023, until an FFP charge came in and derailed their season, and they were made 10-point deduction. Now this has opened up a whole can of worms and only adds to the rocky year at Everton. So 2023 has been a very turbulent year for Everton, as they faced relegation in the eye, were handed a 10-year point deduction, sadly lost their chairman Bill Kenwright, potentially have new owners coming in who a lot of fans don't want, a new stadium being developed. Yeah, this year has been very turbulent for Everton to say the least. Fulham, declining. 2023 unfortunately has been a year of decline for Fulham, and hopefully for Fulham fans this won't continue in 2024. At the start of 2023, Fulham were in 8th place, just 1 point off Liverpool and European places. However, things started to unravel for Fulham as they came back to reality, if you like, and performances started to dip, but they still finished a fantastic 10th place. But this year then saw the loss of starman Alexander Mitrovic in the summer, with no replacement coming in. Fulham have ended 2023 a much worse team than they started off 2023, both in terms of personnel and actual style of play. Fulham have declined in 2023, but look, it's not a bad thing in terms of, you would probably say they were overperforming anyway, so they've kind of just come back to their level. Or maybe they're getting worse, I don't know. However, it's clear to see Fulham have slowly been getting worse as the year has went on. Luton pipe dream. If I had told a Luton fan 4 years ago their story of 2023, they would have said it was a pipe dream and never would have happened. Well, it has. Luton started 2023 in 9th place in the Championship, having recently appointed Rob Edwards as manager. They would then go on to reach the playoffs and dramatically win the final on penalties to earn promotion to the Premier League for the first time in the club's history. And in the Prem they've been pretty decent, almost beating Arsenal, almost beating Liverpool, almost beating Man City. 2023 has been an incredible year for Luton, and as I said, if I had told Luton fans they would end 2023 playing Premier League football and potentially end it even outside of a relegation zone, they would be laughing and tell me that's a pipe dream. Well, Luton fans, it's reality. Liverpool progress. 2023 has seen Liverpool make major progress and slowly turn back into the team they once were under Klopp. At the start of 2023, Liverpool, as I said earlier, were just 1 point above Fulham. The fact that they will end 2023 almost 20 points clear of Fulham tells the story of both clubs. Liverpool were resurgent in 2023 after a very poor end to 2022. second place, with many people doubting them. Yet they end the year as people talking about them as the greatest club side in the history of football. City, of course, won a treble in 2023, a sensational achievement, especially when you consider they started the year behind in the title race. While they haven't maybe ended 2023 in the best of fashion, if you had told a City fan in 2023 they will win the treble, I think they would be pretty happy with their year. So yeah, 2023 has been a perfect year for Man City. Manchester United, chaos. Like many years, 2023 has been another year of chaos at Man United. Now, it actually started with a lot of hope. They were fourth in the league, not too far from Arsenal at the top actually, and playing some good stuff under Den Haag. But things since then have been absolutely chaotic. Let me just describe some of the highlights of the year for Man United, as I think this summarises why I've said chaos pretty well. So, in 2023, Man United ended their 6-year trophy drought, winning the Carabao Cup. They beat Barcelona in the Europa League, crashed out of the Europa League to Sevilla, lost 7-0 to their biggest rivals, qualified for the Champions League, lost an FA Cup final to Man City, which helped them win a treble. Thought they were getting Qatari owners, but they pulled out. Had 2 wingers accused of sexual assault. Thought the Glazers were selling their whole stake, but turns out they're only selling a minority. That hasn't even happened yet. Have been embarrassed in the Champions League and knocked out bottom of their group. Somehow are still in the top 6, despite losing 3-0 at home to Newcastle and 3-0 at home to Man City. Questions over manager's future. Jadon Sancho making public tweets, more statements than goals this year. Yeah, I could go on. So yeah, this year has been pretty chaotic. Newcastle, fantastic. What year for Newcastle? They started the year in 3rd, and while many expected them to fall off, they didn't, and managed to qualify for Champions League football for the first time in 20 years. They also reached a cup final for the first time since 1999. They then had a great summer buying great players, and then have continued that form into the second half of 2023, currently competing for top 4 despite having loads of injuries. And in the Champions League, it was a bit disappointing, but still slapped up PSG 4-1. They've also slapped up Chelsea this year 4-1, Spurs 6-1, Man United 3-0, Aston Villa 5-1, West Ham 5-1, beaten Arsenal as well. So what a fantastic year for Newcastle. Nottingham Forest, confusing. 2023 was a fairly confusing one for Nottingham Forest. They started the year in 16th, well and truly in a relegation fight, but they then spent about £50 million in January, bought about 50 players, and rallied together under Cooper to stay up with some impressive home wins. They then had an extremely eventful summer, signing another 50 players, and this season started off okay, but slowly have been getting worse and worse in 2023. I think this year has been confusing for Forest because they were probably buzzing they stayed up this year in 2023 and so happy, but at the end of 2023 has been really poor, and Steve Cooper, man Forest fans loved, has been sacked. So it's been a bit of a sour ending to 2023. There's been some really good moments. It's not ended too well. So if I was a Forest fan, I'd just be really confused. Spurs, roller coaster. 2023 was definitely a roller coaster for Spurs. They had a lot of downs, and the first half of 2023 was very down, but the second half has been very up. They started 2023 in 5th, close to the top 4 with Conte in charge, but things quickly imploded and he was sacked, with his assistant Stellini coming in, and he was even worse and got sacked for Ryan Mason. It then took them months to find a permanent replacement, with Championship, Sheffield United lose 3-1 at home to Brentford, and then lose their legend and main man Harry Kane. But the second half has seen them play some great football, the best football since Poch was in charge. A feel-good feeling come back to Spurs, major improvement and progress being made, some bad results, some good results, but overall a positive atmosphere. So while it started off so low, it ended fairly high, making 2023 a massive Spurs rollercoaster. Sheffield United rollercoaster. To be honest, Sheffield and Spurs have had exactly the same 2023, just in reverse. 2023 started off so well for Sheffield. In the first half, they finished second in the Championship, comfortably winning promotion back to the Prem under Paul Heckingbottom, when a lot of people didn't expect them to. They had a really good FA Cup run, played some decent football, had a fantastic defence, had some exciting players such as Ilman and Dye and Sander Berge, and things were great. As for the second half of 2023, well, it couldn't have gone any worse. They lost Ilman Dye, their star man. They lost Sander Berge, an important player to the team. Failed to bring in adequate replacements. Sacked their manager. Made the worst start to the Prem ever. And look like they're already relegated. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster, just in reverse for Sheffield compared to Spurs, as they started 2023 so high and ended it so low. West Ham, historic. 2023 will go down in West Ham history, as this was the year they were crowned European champions for the very first time. While the league hasn't been so historic in terms of results, that has been overshadowed by a Europa Conference League win, which is of course the story of their 2023. West Ham won in dramatic style the Conference League final versus Fiorentina to win their first piece of European silverware. Granted, it's only the Conference League, but still, it's a huge moment for West Ham and something they will talk about for years. So 2023 is one for the history books for West Ham fans. And finally, Wolves. Weird. 2023 was a very weird one for Wolves. They started the year in 19th, with Julian Lopetegui in charge, who would go on to rather impressively comfortably keep Wolves up. Things looked good for Wolves and they had an elite level coach in charge who was doing well for them. But then it all came crashing down, as they had financial problems, meaning their star man Ruben Neves was sold, barely anybody was brought in, and the Julian Lopetegui project was ripped up, with him walking away with just a week until the season started. Things looked bad for Wolves and they appointed Gary O'Neill, which was very uninspiring, but he's actually done very well, and Wolves look solid and like a real good team, despite everybody thinking they may go down. So 2023 has been a weird one for Wolves. They started the year thinking they would go down. They stayed up, thought they were going to build a great project with Lopetegui. That didn't happen. Were thinking they were going down again after O'Neill came in, and that also looks like it's not happening. So yeah, very weird for Wolves. But there we go. That is the one-word summary of your club's